hawawezi kutoka kwa sababu lazima wachukue ile tunasema. Fellow Kenyans, Article 3 of our Constitution is categorical at subsections 1 and 2. Every person has an obligation to respect, uphold, and defend this Constitution. Any attempt to establish a government other than in compliance with this Constitution is unlawful. Tomorrow, the Jubilee Party will make its second attempt to establish a government in defiance of the Constitution by holding an election whose very organizers have said cannot be credible. Exactly 1 week ago, the chairman of the IEBC, Mr. Wafula Chebukati, said, and I quote, "I have made several attempts to make crucial changes, but all my motions have been defeated by a majority of the commissioners. Under such conditions, it is difficult to guarantee free, fair, and credible elections." Mr. Chebukati went on, "When there is a genuine commitment to let the commission work independently, when all the commissioners and staff truly commit to serving the country rather than partisan political interests, and when we work together to create a conducive environment for Kenyans to express their sovereign will, then I can truly be confident of having a credible presidential election. Only then," Chebukati went on, "can I commit to serve as the national returning officer in order to deliver a free, fair, and credible election." A few hours earlier, Dr. Roslyn Akombe wrote in her resignation letter, "The commission in its current state can surely not guarantee a credible election on October 26th. I do not want to be party to such a mockery to electoral integrity." Asked by the BBC whether Kenya can hold a credible election, her answer was, and I quote, "absolutely not." Last evening, Deputy Chief Justice Ms. Philomena Mwilu's bodyguard was shot and wounded. We have reason to believe that the bullets were meant for the Deputy Chief Justice and the shock kept her from duty today. Earlier today, the High Court ruled that the returning officers for tomorrow's elections are illegally in office. To cap it all, Supreme Court judges, either intimidated or compromised, stayed away from the court today, making that institution unable to adjudicate in the critical affair of tomorrow's election. All these confirm that we have a charade and not an election tomorrow. Fellow Kenyans, the establishment of a government regardless of the Constitution was the intention of Jubilee in the run-up to the August 8th elections. It is the reason Jubilee insisted on Al Ghurair as the single-sourced print of the ballots. It is the reason Jubilee rejected a thorough audit of the register and created an official polling stations. It is why in the lead-up to the election, the IEBC Chief Technology Officer, Chris Msando, was tortured and murdered. After the murder of Mr. Chris Msando, the government rejected an offer from the FBI and the Scotland Yard to unravel this murder. The murder remains unresolved, and Uhuru Kenyatta's government remains the principal suspect. The attempt to establish a government by extrajudicial constitutional means in August was, however, disrupted by our efforts and eventually rejected by the Supreme Court on September 1. Since then, Jubilee has reassembled and mounted another attempt to stay in power by means that are clearly undemocratic and unconstitutional. Like in August, Jubilee will tomorrow attempt to stay in power by force through a sham election. The August elections and the one scheduled for tomorrow are part of the emerging trend of electoral autocracy gaining ground in Africa. This is a system where dictators give a cloak of democratic respectability by organizing sham elections every 5 or 4 so years, which they must win at any cost. After the August election, and even before the new one, President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy William Ruto have moved to dismantle the entire edifice of the rule of law enshrined in Kenya's constitution to consolidate their long-term power. I now invite Musalia Mudavadi to read the next section.
So mukaribishe